Buenos días, clase. Voy a hablar sobre la lección 5.07. Okay, so we're doing Module 5, Módulo 5, mis vacaciones. Okay, we're still working on this module, and it is, we are working on Lesson 7. Okay, so if you go to navigate to Lesson 7, remember to always do your lessons before you attempt the assignments. And this is the beginning of this lesson. So it says, ¿Qué hiciste cuando llegaste? Traveling to a Spanish-speaking country is exciting. You get to experience new food, see different architecture and landmarks, and try new activities. This is the island of Roatan, Honduras, the Merced Church in Nicaragua, and the Güell Park in Barcelona, Spain. So here is your chance to grab your note guide. This is, you click this, you can print it or save it. If you print it, you can write in it. If you save it, you can edit it like a Word document. And it's got all of the important notes that you need for this lesson and this for your assignments. So go up here and go to the next section. And here it says, de turismo en el destino final. Like about tourism and your final destination. Cuando eres un turista, hay muchas cosas que quieres ver y hacer. Por ejemplo, puedes ir de turismo en el autobús turístico o a un lugar histórico en España, Honduras o Nicaragua. Ahí puedes ver la arquitectura colonial o los puntos de referencia. Si quieres, también puedes visitar el parque temático o relajarte en la piscina. Get ready to have the time of your life. Okay, so if you want to if you get a question about a different word, you can read the English. And here, again, just like in almost all the lessons, the beginning lessons of each module, you have the opportunity to learn your new vocabulary. This is a really great tool. You have some really great tools in here to practice your pronunciation. So if you click this and you click this, you can hear your word, and it's de turismo.
De turismo.
De turismo. Okay, so then you can open this. And like I've learned, sometimes you have to like lean in, or at least my speaker I have to lean in. De turismo. And if you do it well, you get a green. If you don't do it well, it'll put a mark over here. It'll only go up to like the red or the orange. It will also show you what it heard right here. So let's just say you said, for example, if you say de turismo. Okay, it's going to read what you said. Okay, so it's telling you that it heard de turismo. Okay, which isn't particularly bad pronunciation, but it's de turismo. Okay, so it just wants you to try again. Okay, so it will tell you if you've pronounced it correctly, and sometimes it can't hear you very well, so you may just need to just lean in like I do to my microphone. Okay, so, and then it also gives you an example sentence. Mis amigos y yo nos fuimos de turismo ayer. So when you're done reviewing that, and make sure you write it down in your note guide, you can click through to all the words and practice the pronunciation, and you can also hear the words. Okay, so once you've studied all that new vocabulary, and again, this is an opportunity to grab your note guide again. And these two sections I've talked about multiple times in past lessons, so I'm going to pass through that so this video is not too long. You can always read through those on your own. And it says, Atención. To help you sound like a local in a Spanish-speaking country, you can use idioms. Don't worry, learning to use idioms can be pan comido, or a piece of cake. Check out how you could use some of these idioms in a sentence. So if you know what idioms are, if you don't know what idioms are, well, this is a listing of them. But they are like sayings that people say that, if you literally translated them, they wouldn't make any sense. But if you live in the country, or if you live in the area that they're speaking, they would understand what you were saying. I'm trying to think of one that in English, but my grandmother used to say, like, there's not enough to shake a stick at. And it's like, if you translated that literally, someone may not have any idea what that means, but I would know what it means because I live in that place and have heard it my whole life. So that's what an idiom is. So, for example, and it's got all these really great translations of them. So it says ponerse de mala leche, to get, and it says the literal translation is to get in bad milk, and the meaning is to be in a bad mood, and like the English equivalent is get bent out of shape. Okay, so it gives you the English idiom as well, which is kind of nice. And I think you can open that up, and you can also print it, or you can print as a PDF and save it onto your device. Which these are fun to learn, to advance your language, foreign language, your world language knowledge. Okay, so and idioms is like, the technical definition is words or phrases that mean something different from their literal meanings. Okay, so it says, your examples are, Juanito tenía la visita de lince cuando mirábamos sorry, my mouth is not working today. Juanito tenía la visita de lince cuando mirábamos las estrellas en la noche. Juanito had an eagle eye when he looked at the stars at night. Okay, so your idiom is tener la visita de lince, to have the eyesight of a lynx. Lynx is a type of cat. The meaning is having excellent vision, and the English equivalent is have an eagle eye. Michelle, another one is, Michelle siempre era una gallina en el parque temático. Michelle was always a chicken at the theme park. So the idiom is ser un gallina, to be a hen, meaning is to be a coward, to be a chicken. Okay, last one is example is, yo siempre andaba con pies de plomo y me ponía el cinturón de seguridad en el autobús turístico. I always walked on the safe side, and I would put on the seatbelt on the tour bus. Andar con pies de plomo, to walk with lead feet. To be very careful, the English equivalent, to walk on the safe side. Okay, again, another reminder to get out your note guide and write some of these examples down. Go to the next section. And then you've got Grammatica Review. Professor Hobby knows grammar can be challenging, and he knows preterite tense. And he knows preterite tense, imperfect tense, direct object pronouns, and indirect object pronouns. No eran cosas del pasado. Stick around and you'll be a pro just like the Professor Hobby. Grab your note guide and enjoy this video. Okay, so you're going to watch the video. You can just click it and start listening, watching. And it's just 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you can make...
Hola amigos, bienvenidos a YouTube. This week I'm doing a recap of the preterite tense, the imperfect tense, and indirect and direct object pronouns. This is mostly for Renata, but stick around because I created some tips to help you out. Let's jump right in. Remember, both the imperfect and the preterite tense are used to talk about the past, but they're used for different things.
Okay, so you can watch that. He's going to explain it. So it's just a little bit of review. You can have, if you want to review your lessons on direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns, or verbs in the preterite tense and imperfect tense, you can click this. And should load. And it's going to give you a review of the lesson about direct object pronouns and direct object pronouns. And you can print this or print and save it as a PDF. Okay. And same with verbs in the preterite tense and imperfect tense. Another review for that. Okay, go to the next section. And again, it's grammatica. Now this is grammatica nueva. That means it's new grammar. These are chameleon verbs. So some verbs change their meaning when they are used in the preterite tense or in the imperfect tense. These verbs are like chameleons. Let me make sure I have enough time. Okay. These verbs are like chameleons because they change based on their situation. Saber, conocer, poder, querer, and tener are chameleon verbs. Okay, they have different meanings. You can look at their different meanings by clicking that link. Okay. And you have saber in the preterite tense means you found out. In imperfect tense, it means you knew. Conocer means you met. In preterite tense, it means you knew something. In imperfect, poder, managed, was, or were able to in the imperfect. And you can read through the rest of those. But these are the chameleon verbs and their meaning. Again, you can print this or save it as PDF. Okay, so it's important to use context clues to determine the meaning of chameleon verbs. Select each tab to see examples of these chameleon verbs used in the preterite and the imperfect tense. So the biggest thing to think about when you're trying to decipher between these two is like saber means to know. So if you're thinking of it like in the preterite tense, remember we use preterite tense for like a specific action in the past, and usually it's like a specific action that has like a specific amount of time. Like if you found out information about your sister, you don't usually it's not usually like, you wouldn't usually use that normally when you're talking about something that's ongoing. You'd say like, I found out she broke her leg. That's like kind of, you find out in like one instance. So whereas if you are talking about saber, like knowing something in the imperfect tense, this is like ongoing. Imperfect is used for like an ongoing action in the past. Like I knew all about I knew all about baking when I was a child. That kind of thing. Like, so that's like an action that's ongoing throughout your childhood, is knowing that information. So that's kind of the difference between that. And that is kind of the same way of thinking about all of these verbs is like, you're going to conocer in the preterite tense is going to be met. It's going to be specific action at a specific time. And conocer is kind of like new. Same kind of concept as saber, like knowing something ongoing. Your example here is like, we knew the landmark very well. Nosotras conocíamos el punto de referencia muy bien. Like we knew about this place for a long time. So it's not that you found out the information all of a sudden. It's that you knew about it ongoing. I hope this is making sense. It's very hard. It's a very difficult concept. It's not that difficult of a concept. It's difficult to then put it into practice in Spanish. At least it was for me when I was learning it. So I understand if it's kind of confusing. Okay, so you're going to click through these and practice and read through all of the different like examples so you can understand the difference in how it's used. Then here is your review games that you can practice with, and these are really great to test your knowledge. But they're games you can play on your own. Then this is going to be your piece of cultural reading. This is about turismo in Granada, España. I've been there. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is about Omoa, Honduras. And I have been to Honduras, but I have not been to Omoa. And then you have La Isla de Ometepe, Nicaragua. And that looks gorgeous as well, but I've never been there. Okay, so this is a great like cultural learning. And this is extra if you'd like to practice some Spanish with your friend, with a student. That would be wonderful. And you go to the next section. And again, review game.